Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Got a video that been wanting to make for some time, and it's in the series of Granddad's tools. I have some stuff here that there's some boxes that were given to my dad. I don't think my dad has done anything to them, and I have not looked in them yet, so I thought I'd bring you along. Let's check it out and see what's in here. And here are our mystery boxes. So, I was feeling them. That's got something in it. That doesn't have very much in it. That's kind of heavy. I think that one's heaviest. We'll go from the lightest to the heaviest. So let's check this out and just see what's in here. Oh, that's something that's useful we could use. I think those are ends to pipes for pipe wrenches. I don't know what that is. Oh, an old glass syringe. Look at that. From Brazil. This probably would have been for inoculations, for giving vaccines on the farm. More than likely, but it can be used. I know my dad used to do the little model airplanes and put the fuel in with these, and you'd put the fuel into the airplane engines. But that's a glass syringe. That's kind of cool. All right, that wasn't anything spectacular. Hopefully these will be better. So let's see what's in here. Remember, my grandfather was a watchmaker. So there's a key to wind a clock. There's some clock hands. Not sure what the rest of that stuff is. But, and look at all this. A bunch of old watches. Watch bands. Don't know if that'll wind up. Some old watch bands. Not sure what that was for. I remember him using that, but I can't remember what for. It's very lightweight, almost like balsa wood. Wow. Check that out. That would, once you wound the spring, that would go back and forth, and that would run the whole mechanism. That is really neat. Very delicate little hands on there. Let's see what this one is. I'm sure they're nothing expensive. Man, that is neat. Look at that. I'll bet you that thing, it's not, needs to be wound up. But I'm not sure without the stem in there how you would wind that up. So we've got some watch faces. Now what is neat, this thing here, I'm pretty sure I know what it is, and it would open up. I think it's spring-loaded, I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. Turn that loose, and this will open up. And you can take and you can grip these watch faces. You set the watch face in there, and it would grab hold. Now this one's a little big, so it must be for smaller watches. Let me see. There we go. So you put those in there, and you could tighten those around the face so that it would hold it in place. That way you could tighten this down, set it on your bench, and he could work on it hands-free. So it's kind of like a watch face vise. See, this won't come out now. Till you release that, pull that out. So that's kind of neat. all the way down to a small woman's watch. Some watch bands, nothing fancy. That is pretty neat. All I remember about these kinds of watch bands is they always pinched me. So when I was little, I never cared for them much. Cement for wood models. That's interesting. And some more hands, it looks like. Some parts for a clock. Look at that, little screwdriver. All right, I don't see anything particularly special about this. The tip is actually broken, so it might be worth just kind of cleaning it up since it was Granddad's. But let's take a look here. And the rest of this, the ideal lube for fishing reels, guns, and all that kind of stuff. So there's a tube of lube. Let's take a look. What is that? It looks like it's just some kind of a little pick, but it's on a brass, this little brass handle on it. That's interesting. A wood dowel. This looks like it's some kind of little, not a vise, but an anvil of some kind, so that you can tap out pins and things like that. So that's kind of neat, a little anvil. There's some pins here for these watch bands. These are little pins that would go in here, then they would go into the watch frame. Some little scrapers here. I'm not sure what that is, if it's to scrape off some kind of like oxidation on brass. A lot of times they use brass because brass would not rust like steel did, and brass is not magnetic, and with watches you can't have anything magnetic. So anyways, a couple little scrapers of some kind, another watch hand, and there's small ones, the hour hand and the minute hand. So there's probably the hour hand. These, that looks like another little pick, like the other brass one, but it's on a different kind of handle. I'm not sure if those aren't some kind of a screwdriver or maybe a square drive. Wonder how good view we can get on that with the, maybe I can zoom in on that later when you're watching this and see what that exactly looks like. It's hard to see right now, it's so small. But another pencil. All right, let's put these things back and we'll see what's in the last box. Here is our last box. Let's see. Ooh, here's some stuff that might be fun. Take a look at that. Let me go clean that up real quick and let's see what we got here. All right, guys, let's take a look at this. Now I think we can see it better. Can't make out that type. McLean and Sons. There's a good shot of it. McLean and Sons, Chicago, USA, established 57? Trademarked. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what else we've got here. Look at that, a little set. I don't think these are of any high quality. A little hammer, you got the handle here, and you can put all these little different parts in there. Put that in there and tighten it up. Got yourself a little hammer. turn that off. You can put different screwdriver tips in there. It looks like, in fact it is, it's broken. That plastic's been broken right there. So yeah, it's nothing really super fancy, but it's cool. All right, now what's this? That's a Craftsman. Look at that. It's spring-loaded, so that's probably decent quality. Does that say made in China? It is. Goodness sakes, this must be something my dad must have bought, because I don't think none of them were made in China with my grandfather. So my dad must have put that in there, I would think. All right, I don't know what that is. Block of wood. Looks like a corroded canister of some kind. Probably had oil in it. Look at that. A little brush, round brush for cleaning out holes and things like that. Cotton ball. Ah, here's another one of those vices that you can take and put a watch face into. Don't think I have any watch faces. We do have a penny here. You can stick the watch face in there like that, and then you can clamp it down so that it won't move. And you have a variety. See, that's nice and tight right now, and that penny won't come out. But you got all these different sizes. This is a kind of an oval shape. That's probably for an oval woman's watch, and then this here would be for a round. So another neat tool that my grandfather would have used. Looks like we've got a bunch of little eyeglass screwdrivers in here. And that's kind of cool. I wonder if there are any tools, any pieces in there. That is neat. Put small drill bits in there. Here is little tweezers. So we've got all of these little eyeglass screwdrivers. So here's a variety of eyeglass screwdrivers that we found in here. Probably just throw that in there with it as well. This is for the bottom of a pendulum on a clock. What was really neat about how they set these is the distance from the pivot point, and they would thread this up, and that would move this higher to the pivot point on the pendulum and actually slow it down. If you wanted to speed it up, if you wanted to go closer, it sped it up, but if you wanted them down lower, it would slow it down, and you could actually control some of the speed of the watch by setting the watch just with the pendulum. And this would have hooked onto the pendulum that went on up to the mechanism. I always call these snake chains. I don't know what else they're called. Bunch of fake clock hands. What is that? I don't know. Let's see if we can focus in on that and see what that is. It's just a pick, or it's an actual small screwdriver. Look at there, some cutoffs. That'll be neat to see exactly what that's from. Let's go ahead. Tell you what I want to do before the video's out is go give this a final cleaning. We'll clean this up with it. It's like a bullet weight for fishing. Some electrical nuts. Here's the spring. The spring for inside of a clock. I'd wind that up tight, and that's what would give the movement to the inside of that clock. Batteries, some more batteries, just some odds and ends junk in here. And here's an oiler. lubricator. Looks like still some stuff in there. Looks pretty thick though. Not sure if it'd be any good. Pull this off and you'd be able to oil stuff very precisely on the end of clock. All right, well that is great. So happy about these little tools particularly, and just taking a look into Granddad's stash. So let's go take these over and clean them up a little bit, and then I'll finish up with you all. All right, here we go. This little thing and this little set of pliers right here. Got them cleaned up a little bit. This one here, you can barely see it, but it says right in there, stubs. Might even say M. Is that M stubs, W stubs? I'm not really sure. There is on this side a little, it looks like might be an F. I'm not really sure. Other than that, there aren't any other markings on this one here. But it is a very small little tool, just a little longer than my middle finger. Now, this one here, as we've already mentioned, is made in Chicago, USA. And it cleaned up really, really nice. Now, I can't imagine this thing was just used for watchmaking. It's got a big old gouge out of it. So this may have been something my grandfather had long before he became a watchmaker, back when he was a farmer. I'm not really sure. Well guys, thanks so much for joining me on this. It is a lot of fun to look back into history, especially when it belonged to somebody that I knew so well. So we've got these. We're going to go ahead and put them, give them a home up on the wall, and be able to display those proudly. Thanks so much for joining me on this video, and I hope to see you on the next video. If this was entertaining, please give us a thumbs up. Put in the comments if you've got some tools from your family. I have been receiving some messages from some of my viewers, and even gotten some photos, and one of these days I'll do a video on those photos once I get enough of them to share, of just different tools that you guys have gotten and have restored. So you can contact me and just let me know in the comments, and I'll give you my email and we can correspond that way. But I was at a wedding this last week with the family, and my family is very supportive of the channel. They're watching it all the time and letting me know that they're watching it and sharing different things with me. And I have two uncles who brought me some tools. Some of them, my one uncle is my dad's brother, so it would have been tools that my grandfather would have had, and he is passing them on to me to be able to share with you, so we'll get to those eventually. And then I have another uncle who has also donated some tools. It's a neat tool, very unique, and it has quite a neat history, so we'll share those in the future as well. So as always, thanks for joining me. Subscribe, share, like. Hope to see you on the next one. Have a great day and God bless.